Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to hell! Welcome to Monday giveaways. June 3rd. Giveaways. 4 giveaways tonight. 4! 3 for patrons, 1 for anyone. The 3 for patrons, all you gotta do is join my Patreon. CiottiFPV.com has a link to it. You're gonna love it. $5 tier will enter you to win Tiny Whoop and Toothpick parts. $10 for 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewoop parts, $20 a month for 5-inch parts, $30 a month if you're addicted to gambling and you want to be entered into all 3. Those folks win lots of stuff. Most giveaways are between like $40 and $100 worth of stuff. So when you win a giveaway, it pays for a whole bunch of months of your lovely patronage. So do it, yo, and I'll use it to put food in my and the other 3 people that live here's mouths and keep the lights on and keep live streaming for you beautiful bastards forever. Let's ride this bitch into the sunset. What do you say? Tonight we're going to spend a little bit more time with the Walksnail 65mm Freestyle rig. Last night we flew it a little bit and we were having some weird oscillation stuff going on. Linked up with Brandon's Baked Beans, who does black box based tuning for $1 a minute, which is a crazy good deal. And we did some, he took a look at a couple of black box logs and we started to dial it in. We weren't really getting any, I mean, we were making small progress. I was thinking, it seemed to, I said this towards the end of the stream, it seemed to me like it was frame related. And at the time, yesterday, it was on the Mobula 6 2024 frame. And so if Brandon wasn't around, I was just going to swap the frames. But it was good to do a little bit of work with this frame. And then once we were kind of like not making huge gains, I said, yo, hold on. Let me swap this frame over. Because it just, I don't know, just the way that it was oscillating, just it seemed like it was frame vibration based. It's just, I don't know. I've had a lot of rigs that haven't flown good over the last 8 years, and for some strange reason, like I can kind of tell a lot of the times, like when it's oscillating, how it's oscillating, what it sounds like, what it looks like. I've developed like a sixth sense as to what the problem might be. So I took it out of the Mobula 6 2024 frame and I put it into a Newbie Drone CiottiFPV V3 frame, and most of the problems went away. So that's something. The Mobula 6 2024 frame is 0.2 of a gram lighter. I haven't had any real problems with it yet. As I say that, I'm remembering that I've had some funky jello issues with both Mobula 6 2024s that could be related. But this frame is 0.2 of a gram lighter than the Newbie Drone CiottiFPV V3. But once you use the longer motor mounting screws, it doesn't weigh any less. The CiottiFPV V3 has really short little motor screws that are very lightweight. This and all the other frames have regular motor screws, which are a lot longer and significantly heavier. So even though on paper the Mobula 6 2024 frame is lighter, once you've actually bolted motors to it, it's no longer lighter. And yeah, the difference was there for sure. Brandon might be in the chat, and he can maybe talk a little bit more about the differences that he saw on the logs. But I mean, it was night and day. Like in this frame, it would oscillate hard at full throttle. Moved it over to this frame, and that went completely away. We still have some smaller oscillations in the middle of the throttle. I didn't even notice that with this. It was probably there with this, but the oscillations at full throttle were so bad that like you couldn't even, yeah, it was kind of covering that up. So yeah, man, CiottiFPV 65 V3 frame, magic again. What are these? I don't need these. So I got that going for me, which is nice. So yeah, we'll fly this around a little bit more tonight. Brandon took a look at the log at this, and he could see the mid-throttle oscillation weirdness, and he made a couple suggestions, which I did in beta flight, but I haven't flown it since. So it might be good to go by now. We'll find out in a little bit. We'll put it up in the air and see what's what. If they're still there, what I'm going to do is get a log from this one, which flies completely clean, it seems, and we can kind of compare them and see if maybe... I don't know. I'm also kind of getting the feeling that this AIO, the gyro in this AIO might be on its way out, because this thing is just the same exact builds. Just one has the camera pod and one has the bat wing. And yeah, when you've got identical builds and one of them has weird oscillations and the other one doesn't, that's a hardware problem. There is a chance that having the camera up high versus up front could have something to do with it, but boy, do I doubt it. That is just not something that typically causes this type of an issue. So yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. But yeah, we're going to do our 6 batteries on this tonight, or on the charger. They're ready to go. What's up, friends? What are you guys doing? Who's building? Who's building while they watch? In the chat, Northern Tier FPV was first, Local FPV was next, Curtis Hayes, Timmons, Kevin Sumner, BLD, Rodney Lorimer, County FPV, Douglas Otwell, Daniel Giuliano, Hockey Round, Stephen Woodruff, Rock Crawler, Not Applicable, Coles Powers, DNS Jules, Jay Hines, Just Mo, Doubles FPV, OCD FPV, Frank Nicholas, Sogi Ned, Demo FPV, Anonymous, Rocket Tech, Mac FPV, Render, FPV Toast, Striker, Walter Van Den Ord, Rocket Tech again, Stephen Woodruff, Striker, Bob Noxious is in the house. What's up, homie? Sleepy CBR, Timmons, Walter again, Striker again, Andy XX, AJ Farah. We'll leave it there. If you want the gangly man to say your name, you got to get into the chat early and say hello. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. You got to spell it right. CIOTTIFPV. It's down there. How could you spell it wrong? It's right down there. Don't put a space between Ciotti and FPV. If you do, it won't light up in orange. Rock Caller tagged me and said, hey, CiottiFPV and Gangly Gang. Rocket Tech said, how is this your least favorite spot? I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I do not like Cisco. It's like all of these people's favorite spot here in Atlanta and it's my least favorite spot. What I think I don't like about it is that all of those gaps in the front are on that weird, like, 180-degree thing, which is just kind of awkward. And then there's this big gap, and then there's like a kind of a power loop spot, and that's on either side. And then there's like a little row of trees, and like that's it. It's just kind of like an awkward spot. Like I've never found like a really good way to get from like one area to the next, and then like I don't know, it's just I just don't like it. Every time I fly there, I'm like, God, I hate this fucking spot. But everybody else goes there, so hey, you know, I guess I'll be flying there more. Steven, and it's also like right down the street from me. Stephen Woodruff says, what is your favorite SKRRCH frame? What's a SKRRCH frame? What the hell is SKRRCH? SKRCH. What the hell is that? Wait a second, is that the new motors from WeBleed? No. Those are not SKRRCH. They're something else, isn't it? Aren't they? Looking on their website. Okay. It's not on the main banner. Murders. There they are. Those are skirts. Yeah, I don't know what SKRRCH is. I don't know what SKRCH is, Stephen Woodruff. Ask me again. Striker says, I was literally in Orlando and didn't do pickup, didn't have time, just ordered Meteor 65 Pro though. Should be whooping by Friday. So excited to be a lazy F and fly while laying on the couch. Nice, you'll love it, dude. Tiny whooping is the greatest. Bob Noxious says, what's up, family? Striker says, I remember a few streams ago you were talking about frames. What are the best 65mm frames right now again? There's typically not best, there's just different. My personal favorite is the Newbie Drone Cockroach V3. The Light AF, if it's durable, will become my favorite. But I haven't flown it quite enough to really like confirm that it is durable yet. The black ones were certainly not, but this white one has been awesome so far. So this could take my favorite spot. In terms of like outright durability, the old school Meteor 65 is just bomb proof. And then the WeBleed Crown frame and the Mobula 6 2024 frame are kind of like my second favorites. So there you go. There's the pluses and minuses of each one of those frames. Andy XX says, what's up, everyone? V3 cockroach frames are on point. Thanks so much for the recommendation. You're certainly welcome. They are magic. Stephen Woodruff says, happy Pride Month and Men's Mental Health Month. Yeah, I flew the Pride run on Sunday morning. Well, that was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. I was up at 6 a.m. to get my ass downtown for that. That was crazy. It's nuts, yo. In the mornings, the sun, it comes up, and you get like almost as good of a lighting situation as you do during sunset. How would I have known? I've never seen it. So that was cool. The light was great, and I got some really cool shit, man. Like, here, hold on. No, I chopped it all up nicely. Hold on, let me get out of here, and we'll open this. I can just play this while I talk through chat for a minute. Come on, Premiere, you can do it. Yeah, I got some really cool runs. I've started to kind of realize that it's really fun to do. Since I pretty much shoot in 60 frames all the time now. It really makes a lot of sense to do, if you're gonna do a run or a line, whatever you want to call it, do it normal speed, and then do it really fast. And the one that you do really fast, if you slow that down to 50%. It's really cool because it's almost the same pace as your normal pace, but then everybody's in slow motion. And I did that. So like, here's an example of that. I'm going to show you like regular speed. Oh, I already have that. All right, hold on. So, no music, no music. La 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 la. All right, we're good. So there it is at like kind of regular speed. And then, and like, yeah, I could slow that down, but it would be really slow. And then I ran it back and I did it in, oh, nope, I gotta pop it up here. And pop this down there, and then we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna go 50%. So watch these back to back. Ready? So here's one. This is like me just flying the regular sort of cruising speed for a Cinewhoop, right? And this is super cool. And like, you know, the director might choose to use this one if they're putting this in with other footage that's not slowed down, right? So this is like your safe pass. And it looks normal, and it's great, and all the chocolatey goodness. But then, if they're choosing to mix it in with stuff that's in slow motion, this pass, where we're covering sort of the same amount of ground, but then we've got everybody in slow motion, might fit a lot better. So that's pretty cool. That's something that I realized not super long ago. And I've been messing around. Like, I'll fly one battery, or like in this case, I just turned around and did the thing again. Yeah, try to film stuff both fast and slow, and then they can kind of choose. Gives them more options. With FPV footage, it's really difficult to edit it in with static camera footage because it's just such a jarring thing, right? Like, every single shot that you've got, the camera is static, maybe being moved a little bit like this. And then all of a sudden the camera's going 40 miles an hour, right? It's just like, it's tough. It's tough to do. It's tough to mix them together. And so I'm forever looking for ways to make the editor's job easier, and my own job if I choose to edit it, right? But yeah, when I go and fly, like, I want as much of my footage as possible to be in the final edit. So it makes a lot of sense for you to think about editing and try to, you know, fly your footage in a way that as much of it as possible can be used, right? And so yeah, this is just a part of that, and this is just coming from me doing this over and over and over again. And yeah, I love being able to drop this knowledge on you guys in case you start doing this stuff, and you'll be able to do a better job, and FPV will become even more mainstream, and it'll help everybody. You know what I mean? Rocket Tech with a $5 super chat. He says, in spite of our popular relief, our shits aren't really that crazy, says the Bats. Thank you, dude, for the support. Bats. Who knew bats could talk? Yeah, so this one, for example, like, I flew this one fucking booking. So if we pull this one up, this is like way too fast. Like, they'll never use this, but they'll never use this without time ramping it. But if we time ramp it, look how cool it looks, right? So that's the normal pass. And then we've got this chaos pass. But now that it's slowed halfway down, it just looks normal. It just looks like the normal Cinewhoop cruising speed, but everybody is all cool and in slow motion, right? Isn't that sweet? I think it's cool, even if you don't. Screw you. I have never gotten such an incredible reaction while flying. Everybody was looking straight ahead for the start, and it's Pride. And so it's just a whole bunch of amazing people. Like, just every single Pride event that I've done, it is the greatest group of people. They are people that are like, that live their lives around just like the concept of unconditional love. And there's no Karens, nobody's being a pain in the ass about the noise of the drone or the danger of the drone. Everybody is just there having fun, having a good time, being a part of like this amazing community that is the LGBT world. So if you want to hang out with an awesome group of people, go to any Pride event and you will just absolutely have a blast. It is so much fun. And you know, the more people that are on the loving, caring side of Pride, the small group of literal Nazis that come to protest it every single time because they're losers and have no lives will look like just that, a small group of useless pieces of trash that should be beaten with a hammer. Look at this, I flew through a thing of bubbles. Tell me this isn't the coolest shit you've ever seen. Ready? I wish I could slow it down, but look, here it comes. And bubbles in 3D. They used that. They did their first edit already, and they used that shot of me booking it through the bubbles. Of course, it's just super cool. Which will look even more amazing, I'm sure, when slowed down. Which I think they did actually. Oh wow, the running does not look good slowed down. Well, it depends. If the music fits it, it will. Look at that. Oh my god. 3-dimensional bubbles. What do you think of that? God damn it. I've got my NCL shirt on. It makes me very sad that I'll never get another one of these because the NCL is gone. I was staff for National Cycling League. Sad. Sad. Why does the background look so goddamn dark? Jay Hines, thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. I will read the comment in a minute. What's happening with the background? What's I guess I brought these lights down a little bit, but I don't want to. No, I mean that's about right. What's that globe doing? Is that globe not bright enough? Be brighter, globe. Hold on. Studio stream. Watch this fancy shit. Look how fancy I am. Oh yeah, the globe is really dim. CCT, ready? 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 We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. So the globe is on 14% right now. Let's go up to 30. All right, ready? 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 Oh. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. We'll leave it there. That's about right. Stephen Woodruff. Oh no, we got that. Striker says, "Never mind about the frames. You read my mind. Awesome. What were you trying to type?" Out of sheer curiosity. Here, let this play a little bit more. There was some cool stuff, man. I had a blast. They had 3 groups: Group A, B, and C. Group A was like the fast group. Group B was slightly slower. Group C was basically the walking group. And so yeah, I got all 3 groups. And then Front Runners is like the local group, the local LGBT running group. I got some really cool little things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna do my own little edit with this, and I'm excited. It should be really cool. I got a bunch of really nice little things, and just the reaction that I got from from everybody there was incredible. Like, yeah, there's always some asshole like angry or trying to like knock it out of the air and shit, and like there was just none of that. It was really cool. Yo, the fastest guy, I missed the first guy, but this is the second guy. This guy was in second place. Look at this. This motherfucker ran 5 kilometers in that time. 18 minutes. It would take me 18 days to run 5 kilometers. What the hell? How can people be in this good of shape? And here I sit. Crazy. Absolutely outrageous. What else is happening? CMYK says, "What's up?" What's up, brother? How are you? Curtis Hayes says, "I'm building." There we go. Kevin the Alien says, "What were you using to get logs? Does Walksnail do black box logs?" It does not. These Walksnail builds have the Beta FPV cross-style AIOs in them, which have black box on board. Walter says, Walter's giving me the thumbs up. Striker says, "Will the Mobula 6 2024 canopy fit the Meteor 65 Pro?" Yes. If it does, and I can find a way to mount the Easy VTX, easy $3 weight savings. Is it? Is the Mobula 6 2020... I never realized it was that light. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? It's a great thing to weigh, and I actually have one sitting right here that we can weigh. And I have the old school Mobula 6 canopy. So the old school Mobula 6 canopy this is not going to be a fair fight. For the record, it's 0.73 grams, but there's an extra plastic piece that you need, and that will throw things off. So we're going to weigh it with the camera. Oh, there we go. Nope, we're good. Hold on. We got this. Yeah, so that was Pride Run Atlanta 2024. Which was awesome. I had an absolute blast. Every single one of these events that I get to do is just... It just, like, recharges my my hope and humanity meter in my brain. My old school Mobula 6 canopy with the plastic piece that you need to mount the camera and the camera. This is still not going to be a fair fight. God damn you. Hold on. Damn it. 2.32 grams for the camera and canopy. 2.32. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're good. Mobula 6 2024 canopy. And then, which is 0.58. And then the camera that they give you is the FXT, which I think is this camera. This might not be the FXT camera. 2.47. So 2.47 versus 2.28. This is not the FXT camera, though. Yeah, it is. So yeah, there you go. Wow, how is this lighter than this? That's outrageous. All right, enough. Let me get out of Premiere real quick. No, it's not. Okay, 0.6. 0.72, I was gonna say, versus 0.62. It's not much heavier. But you need that extra little piece of plastic here. But you can run the well, you could run the RunCam Nano in this. Yeah, so this would be the absolute lightest weight setup, is to put the RunCam Nano 3 in this. You just have to grind away a bunch of the barrel here, or else it'll be in view, which will make this even lighter. I don't like these canopies. They have too much up tilt, and I don't like the way that they hold the camera. I'm always worried that on a really hard hit, the camera is going to smash into the AIO. Yes, you can put a piece of high-density foam in between the camera and the AIO. I don't like to do that because then you've got something pushing on the AIO. I like the AIO to be as loose as possible so that the frame and the quad can vibrate underneath it, and hopefully the AIO can stay in place. If you've got foam pushing into it, all of the vibrations going through the frame are going to get transmitted more into the AIO. So personally, I don't like to do that, but if you're looking to save weight, yeah, the Mobula 6 2024 canopy will do that for you. There's also a there's a Beta FPV canopy of that style that's very lightweight as well. So yeah, a couple of different ways to get that done. Why is that? Did I solder this? This camera has a plug on it. How does it have a plug on it? Ah, okay. I soldered it. So yeah, this is the FX002 camera. I'm pretty sure that comes with the Mobula 6 2024. And it looks like I've put a plug on it so that I can use it for the old school 2G4. Save changes to Pride Run. Yeah, sure. And then I need to open back up the... Oh, fart. Hold on. Oh, where did that save to? RC Drifts project. There it is. And... Okay, there we go. Why is it... What's with the name? Why is there a forward... Whatever, who cares? Okay. Back to Chad. Render says, I have some issues with Mobula 6 2024 frame, beta FPV AIO, 40,000 kV motors, and I couldn't get it out either. Pushed the iGains down and it helped like 5%. Sounds like you're running that on analog, Render. Yeah, switch the frame out. Now that I've learned what I've learned with the help of Brandon's Baked Beans, I've got to do some experimenting with the analog rigs to see if the Mobula 6 2024 frame is just too wobbly, right? The Meteor 65 Air frame from Beta FPV had that problem. It's very lightweight. I think it's as lightweight or maybe a little bit lighter than the Mobula 6 2024 frame, but you have to cripple your PID tune in order to run it. They've made it so light that the frame is wobbly and it has its own like resonant frequency that the filtering and the filtering can't filter out and the PID loop can't handle. And that's a deal breaker right there. So yeah, I think I still have one. No, I guess I don't have any builds in the Mobula 6 2024 frame anymore. Because the one of them became an analog RC drift car chasing rig, which is this all clear one. This is the Mobula 6 2024 AIO V2 with plugs that I put into a CiottiFPV 65 V3 frame so that I could put the Batwing mount on it and mount the FXT camera up front. And then the other one is in the Light AF frame. And unless this frame breaks, it's not coming out of this frame. And so, yeah, if this frame does break, I guess what I'll do is take this out of this frame, put it back into the... Nope, because there's no black box. Here's what I'll say. Both Mobula 6 2024s were fine in that frame with the KV of motor, with the setup. I didn't go bananas upgrading them. So yeah, if you start upgrading, that's potentially when you might run into... Look, here it is. The Mobula 6 2024 frame is no lighter than the CiottiFPV 65 V3 once you factor in the weight of the screws. And the ducts are too high. And so your propellers are going to smash into the supports rather than ride around the inside of the duct. So there's basically no reason to run this frame. Just get the CiottiFPV 65 V3. The duct height is correct. It weighs the same, and it's not causing weird oscillations on Walksnail rigs with 40,000 kV motors. Although it sounds like Render is not on a Walksnail build. It sounds like he's on an analog build, and he's still having the problems. So, yeah. CiottiFPV 65 V3 all day, every day. No reason not to run it. And it's got the hooks so that you can run the Batwing mount. You'll never be able to run the Batwing mount on the Mob 6 2024 frame. Nice and easy. Simpler is better. Look how satisfying this is. Come on. Come on, look at that. Would you just look at it? Available at tinywhoop.com. Great design. I wish I remembered the guy's name that designed it and printed it. The print quality is ridiculous, too. Timon says, what would be your bucket list spot to fly? I think an abandoned water park would be rad. Yeah, water park hula is for sure on the bucket list out in Nevada, I believe. Hula waka, waka hula, waka waka chaka, waka hula, waka waka. I would love to fly an active volcano. I would love to fly like a Hawaiian kind of spot, either Hawaii or, you know, something down there like that. And then like the like the crazy like cliffs right on the ocean that you get in like Ireland, for example, would be insane. Most spots outside of the US, I don't know, just like just the idea of like traveling the world and flying is like, that's bucket list shit for me. Because it's just such a unique perspective, and it's a way of seeing the world in a way that like nobody else really can, and the way that a bird can, and you can just, yeah, it's that is that would be wild. Stephen Woodruff says, have you had the corn candy from Tiny Whoop yet? No, I gave it to Azalea. It just looked a little too disgusting for me. Is it awful? Bergeron says, hope you're feeling better. I am. Thank you, brother. Stephen Woodruff says, SKRRCH frames from Jack's 3D printing. You had a giveaway a while ago on stream. Really? Jack's 3D printing. SKRRCH frames. Jack's 3D printing in carbon. SKRRCH frame. Well, look at that. I didn't give one of these away. I would have remembered. That is a crazy looking frame. Look at that. I don't feel like I've ever seen these before. If I have, I'm losing my mind. Jack's 3D printing, eh? These look a little bit more familiar. These look way more familiar. I don't recognize any of these guys, though. Oh, look, they've got a, they call it the splash frame. It looks like it's for 2.5-inch props. How would I know? There's no information on it. We'll just assume. How do I not? The logo looks oddly familiar. Am I having a stroke? What's happening? Some of this stuff looks very familiar. But, like, the frames don't. I've finally lost it. Like, none of these frames look familiar at all. For some strange reason. I've lost it. He's gone. That's it. It's done. Lost my mind. Freelojo dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Rocket Tech, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Jay Hines with a $2 super chat. He says, better to burn out than fade away. Damn right. Well, maybe. Depends. Cole Power says, the FPV difference is why I shoot drone footage in 4K at 120 frames per second. I'm always very tempted to do 120, but at 120 frames per second, you have to run 1/240th of a second in shutter, and that's tough. That limits your low light, and it and like you really start to lose motion blur. It really depends on what you're shooting. Like, I've found 1/120th to be the perfect mix of a little bit of motion blur out on the edges, but then towards the center it's sharp. I've had a couple gigs that I've gone to that I've shot 30 frames, 1/60th of a second, and I was yawing. It's really about how much yaw. Yaw causes motion blur in this direction, in like left, right, and kind of up and down to some extent, because you're usually pitching with yaw. And if you're shooting like a stationary target, you don't necessarily want that. So yeah, it really depends. Like if you can track like long straight lines, you can get away with that slower shutter speed with more motion blur. But then if you're flying in smaller spaces and you're going to be moving quickly, 120 would actually work at 1/240th. Yeah, it really depends. This is why you really want to review your footage after each battery if you're on set and it's going to be mixed in with like medium format camera footage, reds, REs, all that kind of stuff. Because yeah, I mean they're gonna want to crop in. Those editors are used to cropping in on footage, and if you've got a bunch of motion blur all over the place and they're wanting to crop in, it's like they're not going to use anything that you flew. So yeah, it's super situation dependent. It took me a little bit to kind of figure that out. Like I had previously approached for probably like my first year and a half of flying. I got pretty lucky. I was really only thinking about shutter speed in terms of light and in terms of like properly exposing the image. I wasn't really thinking too much about how it relates to unwanted motion blur. And luckily back then I flew very gentle, and if you fly really chilled out, you can run more motion blur and it's okay. Lately over the last like year and a half, I'll give them a bunch of gentle stuff, slow stuff, but then I'll also get really aggressive to kind of give them both sides of the spectrum. And when you get super aggressive, a 60th of a second can become a real blur fest in a hurry. So yeah, 1/20th is much better, and then 1/240th would be even better. But the problem with 1/240 is you can get into a situation where it looks like a flip book, and it's just like frame, especially if you're going to take that 1/120th and run it at 30 frames a second. If you slow it down to 25% speed, it always looks fine. But sometimes when you have that quick shutter speed and then you run it at full speed, you've got like one frame that takes 1/240th of a second, and then you've got what amounts to like 3 lost frames, and then you've got another 1/240th of a second frame, and then another, and you can get this like this jumpiness. Again, you really see it on y'all. You'll have like a frame if you're rotating and like the city skyline is here, it'll be like building, and it just snaps. And this is why you want to run, if you're running 30 frames a second, you want to run 1/60th of a second. You don't want to go higher than that because it makes too much of a gap in between each frame. The way that we fly, there's a lot of motion. And so this is where the shutter angle rules start to really make sense and really become important for us. So yeah, easiest thing to remember, if you fly 30 frames a second, try to shoot in 1/60th of a second, and then use an ND filter if it's too bright. If you shoot 60 frames a second, lock the shutter to 1/120th of a second, or just set the shutter on auto. Make sure you limit your ISO. But yeah, shutter on auto for freestyle flying tends to be pretty important because you're dropping below trees, which is really dark. You're flopping up in the air where it's really bright. And so it's tough to lock the shutter. If you're going to try to fly freestyle with a locked shutter, fly a test battery. And then review the footage and make sure that the darks aren't too dark and the brights aren't too bright. But typically with freestyle, yeah, you want to leave the shutter on auto. But always make sure you lock your ISO. Don't let it go above like 400 ISO. Highest you would really want is like 800, but that's only if it's like really getting dark. Rocket Tech says, nice fly out into the city. Thank you, dude. Jay Hines, thank you again. Stephen Woodruff says, where did the LED strips go? What LED strips? The ones that I'm putting back here. I'm slowly cutting them to length and soldering the leads onto them. They'll be ready sooner than later. CMYK says, dude, the laser cut logo looks amazing. I know, right? It's so cool. Brain 3D did such a good job with that. And apparently he's got pictures of it in his email newsletter, which is really cool. Kazi's in the house. What's up, homie? How are you? CMYK says, no, we got that. Where are we at? Rain Squad says, what's up? Kevin Sumner says, don't forget the extra 4 screws. I'm sure I was missing some screws somewhere on that weight comparison. Kevin Sumner weighed one of his Mobula 6 canopies with the camera bracket and bracket screws 1 gram. Cool. Okay. Walter says, one spliff, one beer, I will crash later. Kazi says, what did you fly for the run? I flew a fully legal sub 250 gram rig with a GoPro, a naked GoPro. That's what I flew. 3D Create with a K says, thoughts on running the newbie drone. What's Newbie Drone X Fractal Crown with Walksnail? I don't know where that confuses me. Here's what I can tell you. The fractal frame is going to kill your runtime, it's going to kill your motors, and it's going to kill your thrust. And then the camera mounting setup is a joke. And your camera is going to like be facing one direction, then the other direction, then one direction. It's pretty challenging to kind of set the up tilt, but the main problem is the camera mount will just rotate. And so you'll think that you're flying straight, but you're not. You're like crabbing to the side. And if there's one way to make you fly like ass, it's with a camera that's either not pointed correctly in the yaw direction, or even worse, is a camera that's rolled over in one direction or the other. Because the more you fly, the more you get good at leveling the horizon. And so if your camera is off a little bit and you're really good at leveling the horizon, it's just a mess. And like you're always either sliding sideways or crabbing sideways, and it's no good. So stay away from the fractal frame. Unfortunately, there's really nothing that it does any better than the plastic frames, other than you can push your PIDs a little bit higher, but you can push your PIDs plenty high with any of the plastic frames. So the fractal frame kind of solves a problem that doesn't exist in a way. But if you're obsessed with black box, and if all you want is a tiny whoop where you can absolutely nail the black box tune down as hard as possible, and you don't really like fly or crash or anything else, that is the frame for you for sure. But yeah, fly. Don't spend all your time tuning. Fly. The fun is the flight. Do whatever you want. Just bought a used pair of Dom HDs this morning, looking to do a 65mm HD build. I have spent months and months and months and hundreds, if not thousands of hours trying all different Walksnail builds, including numerous fractal builds, 65s and 75s. And the best setups that I've found are right here. Where is it? Here it is. So the best setups that I've found that have a mix of all the things. Fly good, crash good, easy to build, don't demolish your motor shafts all the time, good runtime, good power. For a 75mm rig, you've got the Beta FPV Meteor 75 Air frame. And then you've got on all of these builds, I'm using the Beta FPV Cross Style AIO, the same ones that all of the racers run. And then you get off of eBay, or I have some that I can sell you, M 1.2 by 12 screws. And those are long enough to go down through the Mobula 6, the old school Mobula 6 canopy, and then you can mount the Walksnail light camera in here. On this one, at the moment, I have VCI 0802.6 27,000 kV motors on the Gemfan 1610 biblades. These are the most powerful, lighter motors that we have access to. The only problem is runtime. It only gets about 2 minutes of runtime. The other motor option that I really like are the RCN Power 1002 22,000s. They'll give you a bunch more runtime, but a little bit less power. The main thing I like about them is that they have the 1.5mm motor shaft, so you'll pretty much never bend a motor shaft on them. So for 75, if you want something to kind of fly outside, maybe fly around jungle gyms, which I call jungle gym bashing, this is it. This is the way to do it and get the most thrust, the most runtime, blah, 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 blah. If you want to chase RC drift cars, this is hands down the way to do it. This is this is the best, basically, Cinewhoop. If you want a 65mm Cinewhoop, this is how you do it. Cockroach 65 V3 frame, Tiny Whoop 0702 36,000 kV motors. You can also do the 40,000 kV motors from Weebleed. I would scale them down a little bit. Motor scale them down a little bit. On all of these, I've got TrueRC Singularity ultra short antennas. And then same AIO. This is the patent pending CiottiFPV batwing mount that Timmons very amazingly created for us to get the camera up front with no props in view. And as you can see, the camera is nice and solid. It doesn't wobble back and forth like a schlip-schlap. And that's about it. Gemfan 1210 bi-blades, and away you go. I picked up a full minute of runtime with this rig, getting it off of the Fractal frame, to give you some idea of how inefficient that frame is because of the additional bracing down on the bottom. Putting obstructions in the way of the thrust, either the incoming thrust or the outgoing thrust, has a giant impact on efficiency and thrust production and runtime. And so, yeah, if you've got like 2 pieces of flat carbon down there, it makes a huge difference. And so, yeah, getting it into this setup with this batwing mount just made everything better. It was really an incredible increase in performance. And then for Freestyle in the house, similar kind of setup, but instead of the batwing camera mount, you've got the OG Mobula 6 canopy. And yeah, I've got the 0702 40,000 kV motors on this. We're going to fly it in a little bit so you can see it. So yeah, there you go. Those are the 3 best Walksnail setups that I've been able to figure out over the last, 6 months to a year. I've spent an absolute ton of time trying to figure this out. And now the next step is that we're going to 2S. I'm not totally happy with this 1S 75mm Walksnail setup. I want more power for outside with this. And so I'm going to be trying a 2S build. We'll see. Maybe this Wednesday, maybe the following Wednesday. I'm cautiously optimistic that'll be good. Grey Hat says, what's up, man? It's been a minute. I started a used FPV gear business out of my house. Been nonstop going for a month. How do people find it, yo? What's it called? Where are you doing that? That sounds really cool. Doubles FPV says, I feel like you touched on this the other night about heavier HD 75mm builds, and I'm getting ready to do an analog Odinata build. Would you still recommend 0802 over 1002? And ... Is there another AIO you recommend aside from waiting for a Mobula 7 to become available? So you're talking about an HD build. The 0802s are too small for an HD 75mm build. So you want either the 0802.6 VCI motors or 1002s. And then for the AIO, it's the Beta FPV cross style AIO. That's the one that you want. The Happy Model cross style AIO sucks. They used a super long USB port that hits the battery, which is awful. So yeah, that's what you want. Doubles FPV says, is there another... Oh, no, we got that. Render says, I'm going to try taller grommets. The AIO almost touches the frame too. Then I'll swap frames next. Yeah, it's really important to make sure the AIO is not pushed up against something. That'll wreck everything. Northern Tier says, I just built a Walksnail Meteor Pro 45mm Avatar Beta 1102s. Tri-blades. You're probably going to have a ton of jello if you fly that outside Northern Tier. For some strange reason, the 45mm props are not balanced. The tri-blades are terrible. The bi-blades are significantly better, but they're still not all that well balanced. So yeah, if you fly that thing inside the house, you won't notice the jello, but as soon as you get it outside on a bright day, it'll be Jello City, which is a real shame because those bigger props really do make a bunch of power. But yeah, I just couldn't deal with the amount of jello. So yeah, you might be moving it back to a regular 75mm frame sooner than later. But I mean, that won't cost you much money. That costs you like $10 to do that, right? New set of props, new frame. You'll be good. Grey Hat says, have you tried a Mobula 6 Eco and a Weebleed frame with screamers? I haven't tried a Mobula 6 Eco at all. but it would be what are the screamers? Are the screamers 32,500? I think they are, right? Come on. Yeah, the screamers are 32,500. I'm pretty sure that I've tried 32,000 kV motors with an HD build, and they're gonna be maybe kind of sort of enough for like Cinewhoop kind of flying, but for freestyle flying, you want to be 36,000 or 40,000. So yeah, any of the HD systems, they just add so much weight. You know, the HD0 system adds 5 grams. The Walksnail system adds 6 grams. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. Ken Fisher says, just got Mobula 6 2024 up in the air. Any suggestions to tame it down for a noob? Yes, motor limiting. In the PIDs tab, down in the bottom right corner, for you guys it's this direction, there is motor limiting. Motor limit it down to like 80%. The other thing that you can do is watch my video on throttle expo and add some throttle expo to it. That'll help you out as well. So come in here. You can do this on anybody's channel. There's a little tiny magnifying glass right here on everybody's channel. You click that, and in this case, you search for Throttle Expo, and you'll find this live stream, Midpoint Monday. In this stream, thanks to Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper, there are timestamps for everything. And there's a timestamp at about 1 hour and 30 minutes, how to dial in Throttle Expo and why you should put it there. You're going to have to watch this whole run. You're going to have to spend a half an hour to really understand how to set the Throttle Expo. If you set it wrong, it'll make the situation worse. So if you're not willing to sit and understand it for a half an hour to 40 minutes, don't even do it, because you'll probably make the situation even worse. Just motor limit down and move on with your day. But Throttle Expo makes a massive difference trying to fly tiny whoops inside the house, because throttle control is super difficult, especially as a noob. The third thing, and which is probably the first thing that I should suggest, that I should have suggested, is just to fly the shit out of it. Be okay with crashing. Look how much I crash, right? You gotta just put hundreds and then thousands of batteries through it to get good at flying inside. It's super difficult. So just be okay with crashing it. If you break it, you can fix it inside the house, in the heat, in the warmth. You're not out in the garage, punching parts of your car. Yeah. Welcome to the game, brother. 3D Create says, what are your thoughts on... Oh, no, we got that. YouTube just did the thing and scrolled me to the bottom. Scrolling back up. Striker says, I was flying today in mid-flight after putting the shaft back through the bell on my motor. The prop and bell flew off, flew home on 3 motors, and saw that I was missing a motor bell. How the hell did you fly home on 3 motors? Quads won't do that. Did it like fall out of the sky home on 3 motors? Quads should not... I've never had a quad that's able to fly on 3 motors. Because you have no control on that one corner. Stephen Odger says the giveaway was around the new year, maybe the 12-hour stream for the SKRCH frames. Wow, I can't believe I don't remember that. My brain is very smooth. Max L says, I'm using titanium screws. It's almost twice lighter than steel. If you want the lightest, go with Rennie, sacrificing some strength. I've tried the Rennie screws. The problem I had is they broke when I was like out flying, and I couldn't get them out. Like the head broke off the screw, and now the screw is buried in the frame, and it really sucked. Like I couldn't fly that rig. And it just, I don't know. The weight savings is just not quite enough. I had a bunch of them break, and I was just like, you know what? No, this is too much. Now that I'm running the CiottiFPV 65 V3 frames, there's really no reason for Rennie screws, because the metal screws in these frames are so short and so light that, like, even if I were to source a shorter Rennie screw, the weight savings would be so minimal that it really wouldn't be worth it. So, and yeah, this is, for many reasons, this is kind of the best frame anyway. So yeah, I that's one of the subtle things that I really like about this frame, is that it doesn't make me feel bad about not using Rennie screws. I would love some titanium screws for this, but I've never seen titanium screws this small. I'm sure if I looked hard enough I could find them. But again, the screws that you run on these are very, very, very light, and they come with it, and away you go. But if you have a source for M2, I don't even know what these are. Are these M? My guess would be that these are M1.4 screws, these motor screws. Yeah, if it's not a fortune, I would totally get some titanium screws. I run titanium. So over the course of, certain motors have come with titanium screws, like the Brother Hobby VY motors, and I've always hoarded them. Anytime I've gotten titanium screws in, I've kind of hoarded them, and I use them for the rigs that are, like, basically the rigs that are working rigs. And so I've got titanium screws littered all over the place. I also use them in spots that aren't going to take a lot of impact, because titanium is significantly more brittle than steel. So if you hit really sharply a titanium screw, you can just pop the head right off the damn thing. So I tend to not, like, do an entire rig with titanium screws. I'll just pick the spots that are not going to take really hard, sharp impacts. But that's just me being an ultra nerd. Kazi says, I knew you flew a sub 250 with naked. What frame? It's a Cinesplore frame. It's a Cinesplore. Scotty Scott says, message me if you want more specific specs. Scotty Scott says, got ORT antenna, bought 4 of them. Have already lost 1. Why? Oh, and another keeps coming off. Oh, they're falling off and you're losing them. I thought, like, because they were so small, like you lost it on your bench or something. Do you have any suggestions for lashing these bitches down? Yeah, E6000 or welder. Little bit of, man, this is getting old. Whatever. On Amazon, if you type in welder glue, WELDER, it's the same thing as E6000. And you just put, like, a little blob of it next to the UFL, and it'll never come off. It's like hot glue, but when it gets hot, it doesn't release like hot glue does. You could technically use hot glue, but as the AIO gets hot, it's going to not be as sticky. The E6000 remains, like, yeah, welded to the board, to steal its own name. Bergeron says, I love my Meteor 85mm. I can't wait to see your 2S build. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2S build. It's going to be on a 75mm platform. At some point, I'll dive into 85 and see what's what, but for the time being, I'm trying to stay smaller and lighter. 85 starts to get awful heavy, and then you got to run, like, some pretty big batteries. But we'll see. Yeah, I've always been planning on, for a long time, I've been planning to check out 85mm. But now with Walksnail and with some other stuff, and like 03, it's even more interesting. So we'll see. Grey Hat says, believe it or not, I'm exclusively on Facebook Marketplace at the moment. I actually totally believe that. I'm on there as Game Hat Terrain, my old 3D printing company. I kept the name. Very cool. So, yeah, guys, search for Game Hat Terrain. I'm copying and pasting it into the chat so that it's more recent. There you guys go. Very cool, man. EuroFPV says, if I wanted to run Walksnail off my HD0 goggles with the VRX, do you know if there is extra latency? I don't think that there is, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no, though, because you'd be running it into HDMI, and I don't think there's going to be any significant extra amount of... Kevin Sumner says 1 frame of latency, if he remembers correctly. So, yeah, that's not really noticeable. Northern Tier says, you are so correct. He said that at 10:50. Oh my god, it's 11:07 already. We got to do the giveaways. Last chance to join the Patreon and get in on 3 of tonight's Patreon giveaways. Or if you're on the $3 a month tier, if you move to the $5 a month tier real quick, you'll be entered to win the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick stuff. Last call. I'm going to get caught up on chat real quick here, and then we're going to jump into the giveaways. Grey Hat says, a big part of what I do is help noobs get into the hobby with full ready-to-fly packages and support. That's rad. I'm all over the big FPV Facebook groups. Very, very, very cool, man. YouTube just did the thing. Where the hell was I? There we go. Grey Hat says, in a couple of weeks when I finish processing and stabilizing a massive lot I bought, but I do still want to do that giveaway of Whoop prints with you. Okay, very cool. Yeah, just message me. We'll get it all figured out. Denzel the Terrible says, don't forget the audio versions of the live streams that Riot 9 uploads. Yeah, one of the other amazing perks of joining the Patreon is you get full Discord access. Over on the Discord, Riot 9 makes audio versions of all these so that if it's easier for you to grab them, and he's got a Google Drive that you can just grab them from. So if it's easier for you to just listen with those, there you go. It's over on Discord. He hangs out in general chat, but Danzil will put the link in his comment right here. I'm going to copy the link address and paste it. It's too long for me to paste into the chat. How the hell did Danzilla do it? He did it like that. No, he didn't. I don't know how he did it, but just scroll up a little bit. At 11:01, Danzilla posted the link. Ken Fisher says, thanks, I appreciate the help. I'll watch that video and make some changes. Sounds good. Jbo888 says, I took your rates and added Throttle Expo after your stream last Friday, and I'm flying way better using more of the sticks. Thanks for invaluable advice. You're certainly welcome. Hopefully, you didn't just blindly take my Throttle Expo, because Throttle Expo needs to be specifically set up for each pilot and each specific rig that you're flying. So if your throttle feels better than it did before, you got lucky, but I can almost guarantee you that it's not perfect. Just like what I told Ken Fisher, look up that stream on Throttle Expo, watch that half an hour talking about how to set it up, how to test it, how to dial it in. And then, yeah, you have to understand Throttle Expo top to bottom to be able to use it properly. And you're going to need to change it. The reason why is that you're going to need to change it. You can get it set absolutely perfect for your 600 square foot basement, and then you go outside and it's going to be worse. It's going to make the situation way worse. Or you go to work and it's a bigger room and it's going to make the situation worse. Or you change motors, or you change propellers, or you change all up weight, and it's going to make the situation worse. Especially if you run a lot. If you run like 30 or 40 or 50 Throttle Expo, the window of where the Throttle Expo is going to help you is very small. And so that's why you need to have that midpoint absolutely perfect. And that's why you need to understand how the midpoint works, what it's doing, what the Expo is doing. And yeah, I really dove deep into it. It's well worth half an hour, 40 minutes of your time to really totally understand it. Because like I said, if you have it off even a little bit, you're going to be in the bad part of the Throttle Expo, and that's going to make the throttle less sensitive instead of more sensitive. Taking my rates is fine. You know, my rates are like pretty universal. There's a shitload of Expo in there, but Throttle Expo is not universal in any way. It is super specific, super build specific, pilot specific, location that you're flying specific. And you got to understand it so that you can change it to suit each individual spot that you fly. And then, like, as you get better, you're probably going to fly faster, and you need to be able to change it. Once you start flying faster, you'll need to push that midpoint up because your cruising throttle will be a little bit higher because you're going to be leaned forward more. Less of your thrust is going to be spilling downwards, and so you have to add more thrust to keep the damn thing up in the air. So, yeah. Glad that you like it so far, though. It sounds like you got lucky, and it's roughly correct, but it's well worth it to get it perfect. because it is magic when you get it absolutely nailed down. It's the only way that I can do what I do flying the RC, chasing the RC drift cars. BLD says, what did you say you had for motors on your Whoop chase rig? The Walksnail one has 0702 36,000s. The analog ones have 3 different sets of motors, because I'm trying to find the motors that I like best. 0702 29,000 kV VCIs, 0603, believe it or not, 30,000 kV prototypes, and 0702 32,000 kV, I think, on the other one. But I'm gonna keep switching the motors up on them because I haven't totally nailed down which motors or which propellers I like the best. Grey Hat says, can you cut or grind down longer titanium screws to the right length given how thin they are? I'm certain that you can. I don't like doing that though. I don't like cutting screws. Yeah, I don't know. Denzel the Terrible says, SKRRCH frames are designed by our friend 8-Bit FPV. I did not know that. Very cool. Some of those frames looked pretty slick. 3D Create says, have you seen the Walksnail Moonlight kit? It is comparable to the 03 in some aspects. Sort of, maybe. And better in some aspects. I haven't really seen anything about it that's been better. It's way over sharpened, which is like a total deal breaker for me. And apparently there's been all kinds of quality control things going on with it. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like they kind of pushed it out before it was ready. The over sharpening is for me like the biggest deal breaker though. But I love that it exists, and as they update it, it'll get better. And hopefully they get the it's also awful saturated, but that can be fixed. The over sharpening can't really be fixed, so hopefully they get a handle on that, because that's digital shit. Like they can fix that in the firmware. They just have to give you the option to. There might already be a sharpness option in there, and maybe people just aren't bringing the sharpness down a little bit. But yeah, I haven't seen anything about the Moonlight kit that's better than 03. Other than that, it's like kind of more open source, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's pretty impressive for what it is. But I don't think it's ready quite yet. Grey Hat says welder is discontinued. That's annoying. You can get E6000 pretty much anywhere. Christ, Hobby Lobby has E6000. I couldn't believe I saw it in there. Grey Hat says discontinued for real. Talk to Nick Burns about it while on his Discord. Parkour Guy says, what do you plan on using for motors on the 2S 75mm rig? Initially, I'm just going to motor limit down a bunch of the regular motors that I've been running. But down the road, I'm probably going to end up on like 1002, 14,000s, or 16,000s. But I haven't really dove into that too much. So we'll see. Grey Hat says, thanks for the shout out. You're certainly welcome. Kevin Sumner putting the CiottiFPV.com link in the chat. Thank you, dude. Curtis Hayes says, I upgraded yesterday my Patreon. Thank you, dude. Parkour Guy says, I heard you talking a few streams ago about sci-fi movies. Have you seen the original The Thing movie? And what were your thoughts on it if you did? I don't believe so. I tend to stay away from horror-ish movies because I have horrible nightmares. So, yeah. And, like, that movie is now so old that I don't know if I would really be into it. But I'll think about it, maybe. It's a pretty creepy, scary movie, right? Jake FPV says, where do I find your rates? Interested to see what you fly. 40 center, 700 max rotation, 0.7 expo. It's tons of expo because I'm mainly a cinematic pilot. But yeah, there are a bunch of how to set your rates perfectly for you videos here on YouTube. I would recommend that. Like, running somebody else's rates is fun to just kind of try, but I never, ever recommend you stick with it for more than like a couple of batteries. It's interesting because it can sometimes like my rates, for example, they will show you what a ton of expo feels like, and it can sometimes like kind of open your eyes, and you can be like, wow, I like the way expo feels. This is way too much, but you know, if you've never cranked the expo up, you'll never know what it actually feels like. So yeah, that's, but definitely spend some time absolutely dialing in your specific rates to your specific brain. Gray Hat says, finally locked in my rates today after I started tweaking them a month ago. Long journey through varying degrees of awkwardness to get to Oasis. Guess I picked the right day to come up from being buried. You got me on the $5 Patreon again. Thank you, dude. Jacob says, what's the best prop for AOS 3.5 on Nova motors? No such thing as best, Jacob. There's never going to be a best. Anybody that you ever see say, hey, this is the best propeller, this is the best motor, this is the best frame, you should probably ignore that person. They're clickbaiting you. They don't understand that there is no best. There's just different, right? Like, what they're saying is their favorite. They're saying, hey, this is my favorite whatever, propeller, motor, frame. That is completely different than this is the best, yada, 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 yada. So be really, really careful with that. AOS 3.5 on no, I don't even know what are Nova motors. Is Rosser making a micro motor? Motors. So this is the only motor with the Nova name connected to it. And these are 5-inch motors. So you can't run these on the AOS 3.5. I don't know of any other motor with the word Nova associated with it. FPV motor Nova. Yeah, so I don't know what motor you're talking about. An AOS 3, if my AOS 3.5, oh, X Nova, I'm the worst. X Nova, thank you, Kazi. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that you meant X Nova motors. I had them. I had the X Nova 1804s on my AOS 3.5, but I decided to set that rig up as like a third backup rig for the live stream flying that I do for American Criterium Cycling and now UCI, and there's places that hire me to come out and fly and send my footage into their TV's truck so that they can cut it into their live stream TV broadcasts of sporting events. And so yeah, I changed my X. So I have to be category 1, sub 250 grams to do that because I'm literally flying above people pretty much the entire time. And so I had to take those 1804s off of that rig because they're way too heavy, and I ended up putting 1404s on it. And good God, the 1404s make really good power. The T-Motor 1404 4600s on 4S absolutely rail. Like it's really impressive how much power those motors make. They really work well on 3-inch props. If you're going to run them on a 3.5-inch prop, you're going to want to run something that's fairly low pitch, like the Gemfan 3520s, for example. I would not really go beyond that propeller if you're going to do a 1404. If you already have X-Nova 1804 3500 kV motors, you're going to want to go the complete opposite side because 3500 kV on 4S is not a ton of RPM. So you're going to want to use the most pitchy 3.5-inch props that you can get your hands on. There are 2 versions of the X-Nova 1804. One of them is M5 mount, one of them is T mount. I don't know which one you have. If you've got but that's it. Just look at the available 3.5-inch propellers that are out there and pick the highest pitch one for that motor because it's kind of a lower kV. Off the top of my head, if you're T mount, there is an Emax Avan 3630, it might be, that's really good, and it should clear on that frame even though it's an extra 0.1 of an inch. There are 2 Emax Avan props. They're both phenomenal. And then there's a higher pitch Gemfan 3.5-inch prop. That one's also going to be good, and that's going to be the prop that you're going to use on the M5 mount 1804. because it's kind of the only one. HQ doesn't make any of their props M5 mount, nor does Emax anymore. Initially they did, but then they stopped, which is maddening. So yeah, you really, if you've got the M5 1804, you really don't have many options. But the gem fan option that you do have is a great propeller. I want to say it's 3525, but definitely don't quote me on that. It's just, it's the more pitchy. You'll see. There are only 2 gem fan 3.5-inch tri-blade propellers. The more pitchy one would be the one that you want on those 1804s. Grayat says, me too about horror and nightmares. I'm a wimp. It has nothing to do with being a wimp. It has to do with having a brain that is overactive and having a brain that just like locks things away and doesn't let go of them. And then when you go to sleep, you have no control and your brain goes to the most awful places ever. I have trouble sleeping as it is. So having like, if I can get a good night of sleep, it's pretty rare. And if I get a good night's sleep and I have a nightmare and I wake up in the middle of it, I'm going to stab someone. And, you know, there's plenty of other movies to watch, so it's fine. Grad says, upside of trying so many rates the last month, I can pick up and fly almost any rates. It's kind of wild. Yeah, it's true. Kevin Summer says, maybe he meant X Nova Motors. Thank you for that. Bergeron says, just joined Patreon. Noticed your concern about 85mm. It flies great, but are you saying I should slap that setup on a 75mm frame? Maybe. I mean, it depends on the setup. Probably not. If it flies great on an 85mm frame, the motors are going to be too big for a 75mm frame. 65, 75, 85, completely different setups are required. Completely different motors, completely different, well, props, obviously, and completely different batteries are required for each one of those. So I doubt that your current component setup on the 85 would work well in a 75. So yeah. Timon says, could it be possible to map a transmitter rotary switch to adjust throttle midpoint? Unfortunately not. Well, no. Expo midpoint, no. There's no way to control the Expo midpoint in Betaflight. Or is that just overcomplicating things? Yeah, I mean, sort of overcomplicating things. Technically, what you could do is a setup like what I have, which is you make one of your knobs. Joshua has a video how to do this forever ago, how to make one of your knobs a throttle limit. And then you could use that throttle limit. No, you can't. Because that's just going to cut the yeah, no, that won't work. That won't work. It just stops it. Yeah, no, it won't work. It won't work. Betaflight does not give you the ability. So in the adjustments tab of Betaflight, in the drop down where I select the OSD profile thing, that gives you every single option of things that you can potentially put on a knob and adjust. And throttle midpoint is not in that list. It would need to be in that list. Jacob says I'm on M5. Okay, great. So all that advice I gave you was well, half the advice I gave you was dead on the money. Jay Hines says, with a Mobula 6, how can I improve the video connection? Longer video antenna. Thanks. If you have the current, if you have the stock antenna, a longer antenna is not really going to help. A better antenna is what's going to help. So yeah, Jacob with a $4.99 super chat, he says, thanks for the help. You're certainly welcome, brother. So yeah, if you have the standard antenna where the head of the antenna, the active element of the antenna is up here, that is that antenna placement is about as good as it's going to get. So you would have to go to a better quality antenna like the TrueRC Singularity. Just don't get the ultra short because that'll put the head of the antenna too close to the PCB, which is bad. You need the head of the antenna to be up a little bit. Somebody just said use Race 8 inside. That's a great idea. That gets you as far away from Wi-Fi 2.4 as possible. Wi-Fi 5.8 as well. And then sit in different spots around your house. And then good antennas on your goggles are also going to help. Jay Hines says, when I fly into another room down the hall, I lose video connection. That's pretty drastic. There's something wrong. You should be able to, unless you have like big thick concrete walls or something like that, that should be fine. Great, you should be able to go at least a couple of rooms over. Grey Hat says, I usually put some different midpoints, different rate profile on a switch, then adjust the one that feels best. Yeah, it's nice to be able to change rates on a switch. All right, we're caught up. Time to do some giveaways. While we do the giveaways, one of the other benefits to being a patron is that you have access to a Patreon-only Discord channel called The Video Collective, where you can put your edits. And every time I do giveaways, I pick 3 of these and play them while I'm doing the things that I need to do. First one's going to be Sebby D. I have to mute these because I don't want to deal with copyright bullshit anymore. So we've got one from Sebby D. And then we've got one from Red HLG. Come on, there it is. And then we've got one from Timmons. All right, here we go. And so I got these 3 going here. I need to pull up another screen here. All right, let me just refresh these so that they're current. Hang on one second. If I do this while the videos are playing, it'll stutter and shit its pants. All right. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that. All right, cool. I'll be back in a minute. Let me just put some copyright-free music on real quick. And we will be good to go. Stream shit. What? Where's the goddamn... Oh, this isn't what I want. Hold on. Where's that file? Where the hell's that file at? Music. There it is. Let me move this over. This will be nice to have in here. There it goes. Is that done copying yet? There it is. All right. This will work. This is fine. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, wait, no, I have to do this. Hold on. I have to do that. There we go. There it is. And... Hang on. Hang on. I'm too slow. I was too slow. The song ran out. Hold on, we're almost ready. Almost ready. Hold on. All right, we're good. Everything is set. Cool. All right, people. Click those 3 links in the chat. Show these people some love. Go subscribe to their channels. Leave a comment. Tell them how awesome they are. Be a good community. Cool? You guys already are, but be an even better community. How about that? BLD says, here we go. Grey Hat says, how do you pick which videos to play? It's just the 3 most recent ones. Rocket Tech says, your 533 fund doesn't reflect the $10 I gave last night. Sorry, dude. There it is. Awesome. Thank you again, by the way. We started talking about goggle recommendations. You didn't get it changed. Sorry, brother. This music just screams golf until it says. All right, cool. Let's get this going. And I'm gonna pull this over here. First up, we've got the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier. Hold on. Make sure I did this right. I did not do it right. Now I did it right. All right, submit that one and submit that one. Now we're good. Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier first. We've got some stuff. There's hair all over this. What hair all over this bag? Now it's gone. I brushed it all off for you. All right, here we go, friends. Here's what you might win. Fat Shark goggle cleaning thing. Very cool 3D printed 6 packs a day, it says. Tiny Whoop 300 mAh battery holder. From Hockey Rounds. Hockey Rounds, thank you for putting your name on the bottom of this, dude. Me trying to remember month after month who printed me things is very difficult. One of every Gem Fan Tiny Whoop propeller, other than the 1219S, because it came out too recently. I'm sorry, not one of every. 4 of every single Tiny Whoop Gem Fan propeller. Gem Fan Tiny Whoop propeller. 1.2 inch, 1.6 inch, 35 millimeter, 45 millimeter. They're all in here. I hope you guys appreciate this. This took me forever to separate these all out and make these bags. There is either 4 of each or 6 of each in here. I don't remember. But, yes. You will have them all. Meteor Beta FPV G-string canopy. Super light. Bunch of stickers. Salt Lake City Racing sticker. Happy Model. More Happy Model. An Express LRS. Broken Prop Crew. Brain 3D. We Bleed FPV. Set of the regular Tiny Whoop motor screws. Set of the ultra short CiottiFPV 65 V3 motor screws. BT 2.0 straight connector. BT 2.0 180 degree connector. CMYK sticker. The little foam fetuses for the Tiny Whoop frames. And then we've got the Newbie Drone PH 2.0 connector. Solid pin. And then we've got the Newbie Drone 82 millimeter frame for the 45 millimeter propellers with the carbon fiber brace in it. The foam that you need to make the frame not rattle for some reason. I haven't run this frame, so I don't really know anything about it. And a set of Tiny Whoop motors with size that's so small I can't see it. 0802.8, 12,000 kV. If you're doing a 2S build, these motors might be awesome for that. 0803 is a really cool motor size. And a Newbie Drone frequency card and the Cockroach lifetime warranty card. That's the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier, my friends. Let's see who's going to win it. There's mad tickets and there's an angry goat. Let's see what happens. Well, the goat says that Rob Anderson is okay, great. Rob Alexson, great. Axelson is hanging in on the left. UAV Tech on the left as well. Sebby D on the bottom left. Jim Roth. Jeff Wisecarver has won. Congratulations, Jeff. Man, I am out of practice. That was a struggle to keep up. Jeff, I am writing your name on here, and I will get your address from Patreon. Wise Carver. Congratulations, brother. You have won! Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewoop tier. Johnny, show him what they're playing. No, I'm not going to do that to you. A lot of the same stuff. The Fat Shark lens cleaning cloth. All of the same stickers. There's also a bunch of these little silicone caps that you can use for your XT30 leads if you fly or if you just want to cover them up. There's a little tiny tube of super glue to remind you to stop buying big containers of super glue because they just dry out, and to buy a big kit of these tiny little ones because then you might use the whole tube before it dries out. And then the main item in this giveaway tonight. Oh, there's also a set of Gemfan 3.5-inch. God, I forget what the pitch is. It doesn't tell me the pitch, but these are the D90 Cinewoop propellers, 3.5-inch Cinewoop propellers. There's a set of these, but then the main item is a SKRRCH Cinebird frame with the wacky arms and the big, beautiful 3D printed 3D camera capsule. That's what you guys are playing for. Let's see who's going to win. This is a really cool frame. The whole, I might actually be diving into the 360 cam thing for the cycling races now that the sub 250 restriction has gone up to sub 400 with a waiver. That apparently they're actually going to approve some of these waivers. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a 360 rig carrying build under 400 grams, but I don't know. We'll see. But the cycling guys have been wanting 360 cam footage for a long time because that way I can go up in front of the peloton and they can like look down, they can look side, they can look back behind, and it could be really, really cool. Here's everybody that's playing. Let's see who wins. Northern Tier is off on the left. Wisemac top right hanging in. Rick Kennedy off on the right hanging in as well. Oh my god, I picked it. Rick Kennedy, you have won. That's weird. That does not happen. Congratulations, brother. You got a Cinebird coming to you. C-A-N-A-D-Y, right? C-A-N-A-D-Y. Congratulations, brother. Thanks to all you beautiful bastards for supporting me on Patreon. It means a lot. All right, here we go. 5-inch tier. All the same stickers. Fat Shark lens cleaner cloth. Bigger silicone. Sorry, guys. Bigger silicone caps for the XT60 leads. 6 of them. 3 black, 3 red. And then we've got super glue. And then we've got 3 sets of Gemfan 5143s? No! 4934s. These are the props that I'm currently running and loving. These are my favorite propellers for lightweight, like 600 to 650 gram builds. 4934s. These are awesome propellers. You're going to love them. And a Joshua Bardwell edition QAVS frame with everything. There's even like stack screws and stack spacers. This was like fully put together and never flown, courtesy of Frank Nicholas. Thank you very much, brother. Hell, there's even a capacitor in here. This thing is ready to go. So yeah, it's fresh, brand new. Never demolished, certainly never flown by me, so you know it's fine. Here's everybody. Let's switch back over here. We've got Fly Tribe Magazine getting blown away in the top left corner. Hypnos just got blown away before my very eyes. Frank Nicholas on the top right. Maybe he'll win his frame back. Nope, he's gone. Patrick Scott off on the right. Crom bottom right. Metal Dirtskin bottom left. Who's it going to be? It's going to happen quick. It's either Crom or John. It's John Dawson. Congratulations, brother. You have won an excellent 5-inch frame. John Dawson. There it is. Last but obviously not least is the super chat based giveaway. I'm going to show you what you're playing for, but here's how it works. You can go and do a super chat here. Little fly, go away! Stop crawling in front of me, you bastard. You can do a super chat here. Every $5 gets you a ticket. You can get as many tickets as you want. Super chat here. YouTube takes 30% of that. That's okay. They give me the spot to stream from. If you don't want them to get 30% of your money, you can go to CiottiFPV.com. There's a PayPal button in the note of the PayPal thing. Just write for giveaway and put your name in there as well. The name that you want me to put on your ticket here. Cool. Away you go. $5 per ticket. Have at it, friends. Here is what you're playing for. Those of you that have been following along will know the one major item that everybody wants to get their hands on, and this is the only way for them to get their hands on, which is a shiny new gangly fan in the beautiful sparkly red finish. So there's one of those. It's the only way that you can get it. Still in the bubble wrap. And then, again, as always, huge shout out to Douglas Otwell for making these gangly fans and donating them to the cause. So cool. Courtesy of Bob Noxious, we've got a little 18650 box that he 3D printed. Again, hockey rounds with the awesome little 300 mAh holder. Sits right on your desk and they stick all up so you can get your... It actually holds 10, so you can do 10 a day. Or you can just do 6 a day, that's fine. Rotor Riot lanyard. This is these lanyards are similar to the Newbie Drone lanyards, and they're this like super soft, super nice material, nice and thick, real heavy duty, really nice lanyard. This is the new style, which is like gray and purple Fastex buckle, and then the rest of it is gray. We've got the Fat Shark cleaning cloth, all the same stickers from before, from the other giveaways, I should say. Weebleed rubberized magnet, XT60 lead, the second to last set of CiottiFPV branded M&Ms, thanks to my awesome dad who got me these for Christmas. Super glue. Version 2 of the electronic goop, the mass adhesive electronic goop, my favorite stuff to hold the work that I'm working on while soldering. It's like fun tack, but it doesn't absorb heat and it doesn't get all gooey and disgusting. And so you just take your work, jam it in there. It'll hold it exactly the weird way you've jammed it in there, get it done, and move on. My absolute favorite way. I do like the Omni Fixo, but I like that even more, unbelievably. It just works. It always holds the stuff where you need it to be held. A Brain 3D laser etched keychain, and a Crossfire Nano with an Immortal T. Big old super chat giveaway. Figure, it's June. Let's give away lots of stuff. Let's see it, friends. $5 a ticket. You can buy as many as you want. Stop coming back. Why do you keep coming back? I'm a huge monster, and I'm blowing you away with the wind of God. Stay away. Stay away, you little bastard. All right, I don't even have my email running. Hold up. Where? There it is. All right, let's do super chats first. We've got Stephen Woodruff with 515. He says, I'm going for the David versus Goliath strategy plus chat fee. Thank you, brother. Stephen Woodruff is going to get a ticket. Why did that just happen? I don't... No, stop it. YouTube, stop. Get that out of there. Stop it, YouTube. There we go. That's better. Okay. FPV raffle. Let me make some spaces here. All right. Make sure I don't forget to put somebody on here twice. Timmons with a 515 super chat. He says, let's do it. Jay Deegs with a $15 super chat. He's getting 3 tickets. Thank you, everybody, so far. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Danzel the Terrible with a 25 Canadian super chat. He says, 2 for me, 2 for 8-bit FPV. Sounds good, brother. We've got... Oh, god damn it, YouTube. I'm going to light you on fire. Denzel the Terrible twice. And then we're just going to go... I need 8-bit FPV to be here. If you guys are going to do that and put somebody else in, the person has to be in chat because I have to tell them that they need to get in touch with me. So I'm going to assume that 8-bit FPV is in chat, but just or they have to be a patron of mine. If they're a patron, I can find them over there. Bergeron with a 10 Canadian Californian super chat. He's getting 2 tickets. June Loco with a $5. He says, I need a TBS receiver. There you go. Guys, think of it this way, right? If there's a single thing in this giveaway that you want, $5 is probably less than that's worth. So even if you don't want everything, you know, I don't know why I just put June Loco on there twice. You can get a Crossfire receiver for $5 whole. Northern Tier with a $20 super chat. He's going on there 4 times. He wants something. He's back. The little bastard is back. What if I knock you onto the floor? Will you not know how to get back up here? I fucking hope so. I don't want to kill you, you little jerk. It's one of the non-biting bastards. Northern Tier, you were going on here 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Hypnos with a $20 super chat. He says, Ciotti. Yes. Thank you, brother. You were going on here 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. And 8-bit FPV is here. Awesome. Very, very good. Okay, and let me get into my war zone of an email account, which is just not working at all now. Ed K with a $5 PayPal. He's going on the wheel. Thank you, everybody. There we go. All right. I got you. And then we've got Mick Mucus with a tenner. He's going on 2 times. Oh my god. Can you just let me copy and paste it? Please. There we go. Got you, brother. Thank you. Frank Nicholas with a $25 super chat. He's going on here 5 times. Frank needs a gangly fan, baby. Let's see it tonight. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Thank you, Frank. Jay Hines with a $25 super chat. He says, goop. Thank you, dude. That's over on YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of those right in a row. That's incredibly satisfying. Kevin Sumner with a $50 PayPal. He says 5 for each of the newest 2 patrons. All right, let's figure that out. So, Gray Hat is our most recent patron, and he is luckily in the chat, I believe. So you're going on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Thanks to Kevin Sumner. Very cool, dude. Gray Hat, welcome to the Gangly Gang, man. Congratulations, you joined at the perfect time. Sebi D asked me a message, and I think you're in chat. He says, does my Canadian membership allow me giveaways? Yes. Canada is the only spot that the shipping doesn't absolutely mangle me. And even you guys, everybody's can get in on the giveaways. It's just that shipping outside of the US is like between $25 and $35, And so what I'll usually do is say like, yo, I can just PayPal you the value of the stuff rather than us getting both hammered on shipping, because I offer to split the shipping. So yeah, but Canada's fine. The shipping to Canada is only a couple extra bucks, so it's totally cool. And then Clem686 is the other most recent Patreon. I haven't seen him in the chat, but he's going on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Thanks to Kevin Sumner. Thank you, brother, for your support. Oh, man. Josh Tran, you missed it by like a couple minutes. Clem got you by like a few minutes. Josh, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Clem, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. Very, very cool of you. Hypnos, welcome to the Gangly Gang, my friend. Thank you for the extremely generous Patreon membership. Very, very cool of you, dude. Very, very cool. Thank you, brother. Mike Alwyn, welcome to the Gangly Gang as well. You were in the giveaways tonight. Very cool. Okay, I think I'm caught up there. There are a couple more things rolling in here. We've got... Hold on. Okay. Hold on. What the link tree sometimes is a little bit weird here. I just have to sort this out. Mick Mucus, I got you. And then we've got Markham Bent with a, where is it? $10 PayPal. You're going on here 2 times, Markham. Thank you, brother, for the support. I swear to God, if I can't, just let me highlight that. No. Okay. I'll just type it. Oh, the fly is on the screen now. Oh, you are living dangerous, little fly. You are right where my thumb goes on the keyboard. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to commit murder. It's going to happen live. I'm just telling you now. I'm warning you. Kevin Sumner with a $25 PayPal. He says 5 more for the 3rd most recent patron, which is Josh Tran. Thank you so much, dude. Very cool of you. I think Josh is in the chat. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I love it. Kevin Fondren with a $25 PayPal. He's going on here 5 times. And that's Kevin the Alien. All right, let me get you your 5 tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. And derpa. My dad with a $20 PayPal at 11:45. He's going on the wheel. He didn't type a message. Wait. Is there there is a message. 2 each for the time stampers. Very, very cool. So that is Apache Smoke, Wounded Sniper, but we just call him Apache Smoke around these ways. And then Quadbod. Thank you, Dad. That is incredibly kind of you. And incredibly kind of them to timestamp all these live streams. My God. All right, there we go. And there's that. And there's that. Okay, I'm good to go there. I'm caught up here. I got you on here, right, Jay Hines? There you are. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. Yep, good to go. Everything should be up to date. Speak now or forever hold your wiener. Get it? Forever hold your peace. You're like peace, like wiener. I can't kill it. I can't do it. It's an ant with wings. Isn't that like a queen ant? Get out of here, queen. Go have your babies somewhere else. Someone says, sending you 25 more for Josh. Grey Hat says, give my entries to Just Mo. Where are you? Well, if Grey Hat, if you win, we'll figure it out. How's that sound? Because I can't seem to find you in there. Oh, hold on. Jbo888 said, okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Denzel the Turbo says could be a termite. Well, now it's gonna die. If it comes back, it's dead. BLD says the same thing. Squash it. It's probably a termite. Thanks, everybody, so much. Super kind, as always. Let's see who's going to win a big old bag of awesome stuff. Northern Tier, bottom right. Markham, bottom right as well. Jay Hines in the middle. Josh just got blown away before my very eyes. Hypnose is hanging on the left there. I can't read that. Everyone I try to read gets blown away. I don't know who's going to win. It's Clem686. Congratulations, one of our newest patrons. Thanks to Kevin Sumner. Clem686, are you in the chat, brother? Clem, if you're in the chat, tag me. Although, actually, no, we're good, because I can just go to Patreon. This might be a surprise for him. Oh, that's Bergeron. Awesome. Congratulations, brother. As long as your address is in Patreon, which it should be, it should force you guys to put your address in there. Oh, wow, look at that. I guess you cannot put your address in there. All right, so you can do one of two things. What I would prefer is if you go into Patreon and add your address. This way, in the future, if you win something and you're not on the stream, I'll have your address and I can just send it to you. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. Just message me somewhere, anywhere. All of my contact info is on CiottiFPV.com, or you can message me in Patreon. When you message me your address, I'm going to add it to a note in Patreon, so you might as well kind of add it in there anyway. But yeah, you can get me your address and tell me what size t-shirt you wear, and your email. Nope, your email address is in here for tracking. So yeah, all I need is your address and we'll be good to go. I need to write your name down here. If you're going to message me, somewhere else, I need you to tell me that you are Clem686. Don't message me under some other screen name and be like, "Yo, it's me." That doesn't mean anything to me. I wrote down Clem686 on here. So when you give me your address somewhere, if you don't choose to just add it to Patreon, let me know that you're Clem686. And then I'll know who you are, and I'll ship you a big old bag of wonderful stuff. Thanks, everybody. Very cool of you. Now that I know it's a termite, it's not coming back. So, you know. Let's fly 6 batteries, yo. It's midnight. Great. 533 fun. BLD 0550. Thank you, brother. 20 goes to 25. All right, we're going to quickly fly this Walksnail Freestyle 65mm rig, and then we're going to shut this mother down. All right, come on. Get off of there. Get off of there. Okay, so we got this. I need to bring this out. Plug this guy in. And I will put the HDMI into the input this time, unlike yesterday. Alright, we got that. We got this. Turn this on. Grab these. And power these up. Alright, so I have not flown this with the last set of adjustments that Brandon told me to make. But it was pretty close to being kind of there. I think the PIDs are going to be a little bit soft. We've had to really back this thing off. I don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe the AIO is the gyro on the AIO is a little noisy or a little weird or something like that. I might swap the AIO out at some point to kind of troubleshoot this, but it's pretty decent. You'll see. This battery is getting kind of poofy. Let's run it first. Maybe it like won't fit in here, and then I can just throw it away. No, it still fits. It'll get thrown away at some point, though. All right, here we go. Should be coming up any second. Come on, Walksnail, you can do it. Here it comes. And you guys have video, right? It's staying? Good. All right, cool, let's do it. Walksnail 65 Freestyle rig, 40,000 kV motors. Okay. It's hard to fly, guys. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to the weight. And so... Oh, well, hold on. Let me check the tune out first. All right, so... So the shaking that's happening is in the middle of the throttle. See it there? Look at the throttle value on the right side there. 32, 31, 30, 29. Ready? So I'm not going to go full throttle, but it's going to wiggle. Right? But now watch this. When I go full throttle, in the CiottiFPV 65 V3 frame, when I go full throttle, it doesn't wobble. Ready? See how it's clean? Once it's full throttle, it's clean. But when I move through the mid-throttle, there's that wiggle. That is a mid-throttle oscillation. That's what Brandon's been trying to help me get out of there. So on roll, we have enough P gain and D gain. On pitch, we kind of don't. We're not quite there on pitch. See that big bobble on the pitch axis? So yeah, we got some more work to do on this tune, or I need to just fix the mechanical system, which is the AIO. This battery is done. The other reason that I think that the AIO might be having issues is that the runtime is less than the last time I had this thing set up. So yeah, I think this AIO might just be on its way out. This battery is definitely on its way out. It is extra puffy. Let's run a not puffy battery. What do you say? All right, here we go. It's time. Proper battery. Let's see what we can get. Come on with it. There we go. All right, let's see here. Turn off this OSD. Yeah, this feels much better. Ah! Oh. That is a completely unrecoverable spot. It's trapped between the gate and the wall. And the door, rather. That is my bad for not pushing the gate back up against the door. Like, yeah. Now it won't do that again. Everybody in this house seems to love to open that door, and it pushes the gates out away from it every time, and then that's what happens. Termite's back. The Ant Queen is back. These 40,000 kV motors make some serious power, but this thing has some serious weight as well, so... Oh, boy. Crash recovery saved my ass on that one. So you can see once I get to full throttle, it's rock solid. Right? You see that? But it's when I go through the middle, see like there was no wobble whatsoever. But when I push through the middle, there's that mid-throttle oscillation. Although now that the battery is sagging down, it seems to be a lot better, which is interesting. Oh, we got another couple of seconds here. I want to get a better feel for the runtime. I pulled my finger off to hit the switch. Alright, let's see where that... Oh god, what is with the runtime? 1 minute and 18? What the hell? I am using full throttle a good amount. And these are 40,000 kV motors. So yeah, on a heavier rig like this, you're going to be using full throttle for a longer period of time. You're not going to be blipping full throttle. You're going to be like sitting in full throttle. So that could be where the extra runtime is gone. Although we're at 1 minute and 50. We got there. We got to 1 minute and 50. And now the battery is going to bounce back up down here. Right? 3.5. 3.5. Let's see. Is it going to get to 3.6? I like for the batteries to bounce back to like at minimum 3.6, if not like 3.7 or 3.8. Now that it's completely taken off the rig, there we go, 3.7. So the battery is bouncing back up to where we want it to, and we got 1 minute and 50 seconds. So even though we're hammering on it pretty good, and 40,000 kV is a ton, yeah, Jacob Wilkening says, what's the correct way to decide number of blades on a prop? Fly them and see which ones you like better. The less blades, the more slippery the propeller is going to fly. So for me, the number one requirement is how it flies. Secondary requirements could be like bi-blades are more efficient. So if you want more efficiency, there's the way. You can reduce the number of blades. Carbon Cage is in the house. The most bloody gangly legend that ever gangled. Thank you, brother. What's up, big and small cage? All right, here we go. More thrashing. Let's see how much. See if we can get this one to 1:50. Oh god. Let's see if I can crash this one constantly. I can? Great. Let me show you something on this rig. So I showed you the tune, right? In the air. Everything is fine other than the pitch axis. I'm actually going to give that a little nudge right now. So pitch, we're going to just nudge like that. Look at the gain. Look at the PID gains. Look at the sliders. The top slider is only at 1.1. The second slider is down at 0.8. And yet the tune is still pretty good, right? Like, now that totally took care of the pitch. The pitch axis is now good to go. Ooh, this battery just shit its pants. So the tune is great, even though... Oh my god! Even though those sliders are really low. That is because we have 40,000 kV motors on here. The more powerful your motor, the less PID gains that you need to run. Okay? Always remember that. That's a really important part of PID tuning. What are we at? 337? We got another little bit. I mean, this battery really shit its pants at one point there, though. That was wild. Oh, no! No! What's happening? Get in there! Jesus. Okay. You know what I haven't done, and I've been meaning to do, is set the midpoint on my throttle expo. So, we're going to cruise around at our normal speed and look for... wow, I varied the throttle a lot just now. 33, 34, oh my god. I saw 33 and 30... Oh, the battery is sagged out, though. Hold on. I gotta do it on a fresh battery. Minute and 45. We got our runtime back under control. For the record, the runtime situation is why I moved the Freestyle away from the 65mm rigs to the 75mm rigs, just to come back to 65s. Carbon Cage says no double kick. I actually took apart my double pedal in favor of the single pedal. It's just, I don't know. With the double pedal setup, the hi-hat has to sit farther away from the snare drum than I want it. And I would rather have a single pedal and get better at doing doubles with my right foot than to have the double pedal. I had a double pedal for many years. But yeah, I don't know. I want the hi-hat to be closer. Oh my god. So, all right, let me set the throttle midpoint. 29, 30, 28, 29. We go a little bit faster. 30, 31, 32. All right, so it's set a little bit too high, which is why when I fly slowly, it's kicking me in the ass. So we come down here to rate, and then the midpoint is up at 38. So let's move it down to 32. And now, magically, when I go to fly in here, I'll have the extra throttle resolution that I need. And that right there, my friends, is the magic of Throttle Expo. And that is also your example of how, even if it's off, even if the midpoint is off by a couple of points, right? We were at 38 and I moved it to 32. The difference is unbelievable. This is a Yamaha Power V Custom. It's a super cock rock drum set. Big, deep toms, gigantic 24-inch bass drum. Everything is deep and boomy and gnarly. Which I don't necessarily love. I'd rather have like a more jazz kind of drum set, but it actually sounds really, really good. Old school drum set, like 25 years old. Probably closer to 30 years old. Dog is going bananas. Okay, so there's the problem with high KV motors on these Walksnail Freestyle rigs, is if you run the battery down a little bit too low and you hammer the throttle, you can brown out the VTX. And so we patiently wait for it to come back. Now it's come back, and we can fly on home. I had the 36,000 kV motors on this setup. Those are the motors that I have on the other Walksnail 65 for chasing the RC drift cars. I might move this back to the 36s because that brownout situation is a little bit nuts. And the higher kV you go in the motors, the more often, the earlier in the battery that's going to happen. So yeah, I don't know. Mick Bucas says, if you used a bread tie to strap a 450 mAh battery to that, more weight savings, but runtime power difference, it would make it too heavy. It's already too heavy. That would just like make it, obnoxiously heavy. This thing flies great though, man. If you can get over the runtime for what this is, 1080-60, being able to do any of this stuff is like incredibly impressive. Get out of there! Get out! No! Oh. No. 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 All right. But all of this is such a clear example of analog being king for indoor flying. The weight is just such a big deal. Oh my god, stop it. The latency also matters too. Flying this rig, I hit stuff before I even see it because of the latency. Everything just happens so fast when you're... Fuck you, you bastard! Why do you have to constantly crash in places that are unrecoverable, you shitbird? Why? All of a sudden. It's like every other crash. How is that possible? There's like 3 spots that are unrecoverable. Good lord. Alright. The VTX is getting really hot on here. I'd love to know why. It should be cooling down every time. I mean, I am crashing a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's coming down, but it's staying a little bit hotter than it should. Hi, buddy. You down to chase tonight? Nope. Not into it? Look at this handsome boy. Come on, come get some. Come get some. What, when it's flying you don't like it? You only like it when it's on the ground? Big brave boy when it's on the ground. A little head peeking up. We could have probably flown for 10 more seconds, but we're fine. JD says, if you tried race mode yet? I have not, and I've actually been meaning to. I think I'm on a version that has it. Let me take a look if it's in there. Hold on. But I mean, here's the thing for me, right? With Walksnail, if you're gonna run the extra 6 grams, like, I want the extra quality. Although, yeah, I don't know. If it's about tiny whooping inside the house, any little bit of extra latency is going to make a huge difference. So I guess it would be in settings. And then, where the hell would it be? I'm guessing I would need to go down to low bitrate, right? And then I probably need to go down to 5... Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. I probably need to update the software. That's annoying. Unless it's in here? I wouldn't think that it would be in here. Nope. It's not going to be in here. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, no, it's not in there. Display. It's not going to be in here either. And then I don't think it would be in camera either. And it just got too hot and shut off. Leave it armed for a second. Should come back. Yeah, I need to... Wow, I can smell it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Come back. Sorry, little guy. Yikes. Apparently, it didn't like being blown on. Back up, buddy. Back up. Back up. Back up. I'm currently flying it from OBS. Oh, shit. It browned out again. It's good. It's good. Buddy, leave it. Oh, wow. It got hot. 118 Celsius. Jesus, the fucking VTX heats up so fast. Good lord. That will have eaten pretty much the entire battery. Yeah, I need to update it. Oh, that's annoying, because then I'm going to have to update all of the VTXs. I don't know. I gotta be honest. I might... There's a chance that I pull this apart in order to do the 2S 75mm build. I have to decide, like, what... I'm gonna have to pull one of these apart. I'm gonna either pull this one apart or... Oh, you know what would be... Maybe I'll pull them both apart. Or the 75 1S builds. I'll probably pull them both apart. I'll probably do the 75 builds to 2S. Ooh, buddy. And then I'll pull this apart. I won't even pull this apart. I'll just change this to a Batwing camera mount. And then I'll have 2 of the RC chasing rigs. Because, like, as a freestyle rig, this just doesn't make much sense. Because, like... Or maybe it does. I don't know. I guess I have to at least do one freestyle edit with this. So I'll leave it together for now. If I pull this apart, though... Well, not pull it apart. If I set this up as another drift car chasing rig, it'll make testing different motors a lot easier. And I would just... Oh, wow. We got 2 minutes of runtime on that one. And we were dicking around in the menus for a while. But I was... As you notice, I was significantly more backed off in my flying, right? Like, I wasn't hammering full throttle. I was more, like, limping it around the room, trying to get the VTX to chill the fuck out, literally. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely need to... I definitely need to do at least one edit with this thing railing around the basement, right? I'll put, like, 10 batteries in a row and just chop them down. So, yeah. Before I take this apart. Because for some people, this might be the greatest thing in the entire world. I'm getting frustrated by it because I'm completely spoiled by analog rigs inside the house. But, yeah, I mean, for somebody that is just getting into the hobby and is not going to buy analog gear, this is pretty damn good. You buy a whole bunch of batteries and you get 1 minute and 40 seconds to 2 minutes of runtime. You just change the batteries out a lot. You know? And you run... 36,000 kV motors or 32,000 kV motors so that it doesn't brown the the VTX out quite as often. So there are ways to make this formula kind of work. As always, though, I've got impossibly high standards, and I'm like not super willing to have something that doesn't fly absolutely perfect for me. I would rather spend my time with rigs that fly better. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Carbon Cage says the Yamaha Oak Custom was ridiculously loud. That's a nice one. The Oak Customs are gorgeous. JD says settings device mode. I think I looked in there, right? Carbon Cage says, is HD0 or Run Slung? What the hell's Run Slung? Better for whoops other than weight. No. Analog whoops are king. HD0 and Walksnail turn a tiny whoop into a cinewhoop. It's still fun to fly. You can still shoot gaps, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a whole, I wish I had one more battery charged, and I could run. I do! Look at that. Here. So, here's your dose of, here's your slice of reality pie. Where did it go? Oh, I put it in the thing. That was the most aggressive Walksnail build possible. 40,000 kV motors, right? Like, just totally fully built. This is a fully built analog tiny whoop. Analog, yeah. I said analog. But low kV motors, all things considered. 28,000 kV motors. Look at this. Look at the difference here. Or not. What happened? Oh, no, that's completely wrong. There we go. I guess I need to unplug it. Hold up. It's weird. I haven't had to unplug this in a while. Okay. Hopefully that is now working. Hey, look at that. Is this the right ELRS module? I bet you it is. Let's see. I need goggles. All right, so here's the difference. It's only the second time I've flown this setup. Oh God! So yeah, it's night and day. Man, this camera is blown out as fuck. What is happening with this camera? Ah, come on! Don't be stuck. And now I'm gonna get like 4+ minutes of runtime on this. This is tiny whooping. You know, it's just super accurate, mega power to weight ratio. No nonsense with like browning stuff out. Oh boy, I'm flying like shit tonight though. I gotta adjust. There's like, man, you can really tell the difference in latency. There you go. Hey. Like, right? See what I'm saying? Hey. Hey. Even the dog knows. And he's a dog. Oh boy, cowbell. Hey! Whoa! Easy. Careful, Teddy. Careful, it's gonna bite you. It's gonna bite that beard, buddy. It's gonna bite that beard. Get it, get it, get it, get it. I didn't even give him a chance to get it. Oh, it almost got my hair. Get my hair cut tomorrow. Whoa, boy! Wow, that stop. Ah, I got fucked. Not in the good way, though. Like, look at that. Look at that fucking float. And, like, the recovery and the direction changes. Whoa, boy. Oh, nope. That ain't gonna work. I got a little... Flipped the throttle a little early there. Look at that throw. Come on now. Walksnail is basically a 6-gram weight penalty. This rig that I'm flying is 16.4 grams. So 6 grams adds like 33% extra weight. Think about that in 5-inch terms. Think about like a 600-gram 5-inch rig gaining 30% more weight. It would feel completely different, right? And yeah, this feels completely different. Wow, buddy. Mr. Big Stuff, take it easy. Easy, big stuff. Oh, I knew I was still under there. Thought maybe I could inch it forward and get it out of there. Come on, Teddy Spaghetti, chase it. Chase it, buddy. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Yes! That was one of the best chases we've had. You down to chase again? Come on, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Look how little it is. All right. Ready? Look, it's on the ground. Come on. Come on, it's taunting you. Teddy Spaghetti, it's taunting you. You gonna let it talk shit like that? Ooh, sorry, buddy. I don't think I got him. I think I got it disarmed right before it hit him. Let's see. Well, he's still not afraid of it. Seems more confused by it than anything else. Yeah, who's advancing on who now, dog? I love this dog. Look at that runtime, yo. I've seen over 4 minutes with this setup. It's ridiculous. It's just so good. It's so good. This, I had, the first night flying this rig, I had hands down the best run I have ever had on a tiny whoop. And it was part because of how light this thing is. It's just nuts, man. When you get these things down below 18 grams, it's absolutely banana pants. Super, super, super impressive. Where did I put that, by the way? I put that run somewhere. I showed that run to a couple people Saturday morning. They were like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, yeah, man, it's really good. Did I put it? I put it on Discord in Toothpick and Whoop. Yeah, I put it in Toothpick and Whoop. Here, check this out. Look at this run. Absurd. I thought I put it in here. Did I put it in general? If I put it in general, it's gone forever. I'm back into April. Yeah, I must have put it in general. What a jackass. What did I do that for? Oh, man. Well, it's gone forever. No, I sent it to Patrick. Hold on. Hold on. I can find it. There it is. There it is. Look at this. Look at this madness. Where's the audio? Hold on, hold on.
Oh, easy, easy, relax.
Here you go. Look at this.
Oh God, why? No, easy, easy, relax. Everything will be fine. Oh my God, dude. A fucking scalpel at this weight. Oh my God, I can't do anything wrong. What's happening? This is ridiculous. Oh God. Just fly, you idiot. It's going through everything. What is happening?
And then I blew it.
Oh,
but still, I mean, like, in terms of just, like, linking impossible things, like, I can usually get, like, maybe 2 of those things, maybe 3 of those, like, big, you know, blind, whatever, momentum-based moves in a row. But, like, that was just nuts. And, I mean, like, sure, I get better every time I fly and all, but, like, I don't know, just saving weight with a tiny whoop, it's like it's so important. And the problem is, like, you can save weight all day long, but a lot of times when you save weight, it impacts durability, and that it's, if you're gonna fly hard, tiny whoops inside, you're gonna crash a lot. And so it's really difficult to find things that are durable enough, but then also save weight. And it's different for everybody. Everybody crashes a little bit differently. So what might work for me might not work for you, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, the whole lightweight tiny whoop thing is real. And I spent a lot of time getting more, like, focusing on power, more power, more power, more power, more power. And it helps for sure. But yeah, I was recently reminded with the Mobula 6 2024 being very light, and then with this frame, that saving weight is just as important as making extra power. So yeah, I'm gonna be even more of a weight Nazi lately. Last couple of comments, and then we're gonna shut this motherfucker down. Carbon Cage says running the Remo pinstripes too, old school, hell yeah. Nothing better than some oil-filled Remo pinstripes. Jason Crabtree says, what up? Been mountain biking quite a bit lately. Still check out your channel here and there. Good to have you back, brother. Hope you're having fun mountain biking. I mountain biked a lot when I was growing up. I had a blast doing it. Just Mo says, I'm debating on whether to get a VRX for my HD0 goggles. I do freestyle and racing on 5 inches whoops. What would be more useful, Walksnail or an analog VRX? Analog VRX. What do you mean? Analog like an analog module for your HD0 goggles? Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Tiny Whoop is analog. The whole Walksnail thing is kind of like a novelty, but it's not real tiny whooping, man. Analog is God for tiny whoops. Go analog for sure. Kevin Sumner did the math. 30% of 600 grams would bring it up to 780 grams. Yeah, ridiculous. Carbon Cage says, big diculous up in here, Mad Run. Curtis Hayes with the last comment of the live stream says, I've got 4 of my 8 motors on this Hex build. Oh my god. Not a published frame, so pretty cool. X8 long range build. That's slick. I can't wait to see that. Rogatech says, which analog module? Rapid Fire is the best. The Speedy B is pretty damn good, though. Those are the 2 that I would go with. Good hanging, friends. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. I'm not sure what we'll do, but come on back and we'll figure it out together. Here comes some more 5-inch flying from Cisco. Thanks for hanging, people. Love you. Bye. I'm not ready. Do I even fly in this, or do I just crash into the goddamn building 18 times? Yeah, it's the one where the rig wouldn't work. Here you go. See you later, people. CiottiFPV.com, or else I'll die. Can I please get to the part where I fly? There it is. Later.
Bye.